Good evening, everybody, and welcome. Please join with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and again, welcome. I'd like to introduce to you all our new administrator, Michelle Pong. And if you would, from the audience, please tell her your name.
Okay.
And what you do here for the town.
I'm Jean Carr. I'm the children's librarian upstairs.
Where do I start? I'm Brana, and I'm the community newsletter editor and one of the chief troublemakers.
Stop.
After you.
That's after me, yeah.
She's the chief.
We've met, but I'm Barbara Mosley, considered the town historian.
Absolutely.
Here.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Kathy Thor. I'm registered voter on the library board of trustees.
Oh, I forgot that.
Hi, I'm Jim Carroll. I'm an attorney from Middlebury, Vermont, at the firm of Carroll, Bow, and Pell. And I'm here to speak to the board tonight about some pending litigation.
I'm Brian Ziano with Lane Construction Corp. I might be sitting in the wrong seat. I don't know.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Sheriff?
Keith Clark, Windham County Sheriff.
Nancy Durborough, Treasurer of the Seniors. Welcome, Michelle.
Over here.
Todd Capen, Fire Chief.
I'm Jeff Buckley. I pay a couple dollars in property tax.
Do you want it? I'll go up.
Anyway, you want to start with just a few chairman remarks. I want to thank Vernon's Fire Department, EMS team, Rescue, and Brattleboro Memorial Hospital. They are wonderful, wonderful, wonderful when you need them. And that is it. We also have additions to the agenda, many of them, and I'm really, really sorry. First one will be, the first three actually are going to probably be an executive session, so we'll put them way at the end. It's a personnel, a complaint, and contractual. Also, we have Windham Regional Commission, that a signature needs to be had. Also, the hard drive from the Sheriff's Department, well, actually, it was our copier, and we have some correspondence with Lieutenant Anderson. And then we have Planning Commission, some suggestions that Steve would like to bring up. So, I would say that the last three go under, let's see, the hard drive would go under old business.
Could we perhaps put that right after when the sheriff's department's here, right after their contract, so we could ask?
Oh, that,
Clark
yeah, that
about
would make
rather
sense. Okay. Yep. Is Lieutenant Anderson gonna be here?
No, but
But you would know,
speak to
right?
it.
Of course. All right, thank you, of course you would. And the rest of them, I think, would be under new business, except for the signing of, that would be old business, because he had talked about it.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
I move that we add the above that you listed to the agenda.
Second.
any discussion on any of them? All right, motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it.
Can we have a moment to do select board member remarks?
Sure, why not?
Okay, I just want to say, speaking as the Green Up Day coordinator, I want to say thank you very much to all the volunteers that came out and helped out. A special thank you goes out to Sergeant Evans. She had to deliver some pretty horrible news to me that morning, and which meant that I had to leave for the day, and she stepped up and offered to take care of everything. And I assume that she did, because everything got done, but I have no idea, but she was wonderful, so thank you.
Any open comments?
Of course, put it in my corner.
I was gonna say that, Brenda, but I thought, nah, not this time.
Katrina says it. First of all, I want to say thanks to Emily. We've got over 30, I think we got 32 sites for the tag sale this weekend. It's just like, oh my God, I can't believe it, because this morning was what, 26?
I was the 27th.
Thank you very much. It looks to be a lot of fun, and the weather, I think, is gonna be great. No sign of rain, which is, good. We should have fun. I can tell you what I'm selling, no. And this is,
Gee, let me
Ian,
guess.
this is Wednesday night, the first of the community visits for the Vermont Council on Rural Development. We've got 20 resource people coming from the state, including Fred Kenny and Pat Moulton, people from the Vermont Council on Arts Council. And as far as I know, people have stepped up and made the phone calls on the steering committee. It's really, sounds like it's going well. It's really good enthusiasm.
Yes, great.
It's positive.
That's wonderful.
Finally, I'm so happy.
Very good. Thank you, Bronna.
Thank you.
All right, we have Vermont Leagues of Cities and Towns.
Whoops, we have another. Miss
Oops,
Mosley.
I'm sorry. We have another one standing right there, too.
I'd just like to remind the select board and invite the select board to our annual Memorial Day service at the chapel on the 30th at 3:30. And this year's program is going to honor Lieutenant Michael Butinsky, who was shot down over Poland in World War II.
All right. Thank you very much, Barbara. I'm sorry I didn't see you there. Come on up, Nancy.
I was wondering if I could have less than 5 minutes on the agenda for new business for the seniors want to do something. And I think we need your permission, the board's permission.
So moved.
Thank you.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
New business.
Okay, now, Jim, please join us.
Getting a cramp. Just hold my.
Thank you.
No, I can do it.
I guess as an initial matter, I'm happy, obviously, to do this any way the board would like to do it, but at some point in time, I'll probably be getting into some attorney-client communications and advice that I expect will need, or should go into executive session. I'd recommend it. And I'm at the board's beck and call as to whether you want to do that now, whether you want to do it later and take care of other business. It's entirely up to you.
No, we'll take care of you now. You got a long trip ahead of you.
Yeah, I do, but I appreciate that, and I'm sorry
And
for
that's
everybody.
okay. They understand. They're good people. So, go ahead, Sandy, you're,
Madam Chair,
yes.
I move to find that premature general public knowledge of the Daiello versus Town of Vernon lawsuit will clearly place the town at a substantial disadvantage by disclosing its negotiation strategy.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have that one.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I move that we enter executive session to discuss the aforementioned lawsuit and the provisions of Title I, Section 313A1 of the Vermont statutes with, I forgot your name.
Jim Carroll.
Jim Carroll, and I know you, so I'm really sorry.
No worries.
Do you want to bring Michelle?
Yes, and with our new town administrator.
I think it would be a good idea.
Yes.
Michelle.
Yep.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. We're going into executive session. I'm sorry. Please bear with us. We went into executive session, open session, I'm sorry. We met in executive session at 6:38 and came out at 7:21 with no action taken. And we'll move right along with the Sheriff Department contract. Come right up, please. Did you have another copy of this, Steve, for Sheriff Clark?
Well, I don't have any more, no.
Well, let me,
I made 6 copies, what happened to
Here.
them all?
oh, that's okay. You can have mine, I'll share.
I went through and made a couple of additions or changes that I thought were important. Just to stir the pot a bit. Well, you know how fussy I am.
This is no, Steve, I gave you one for Steve.
It just, it doesn't have the header on, it's just, there are 3 pages that are affected, and we can discuss them when we get there. There's also just one typographical thing, and you might want to
Right there,
fix
underneath
these
that. That one you
paginations.
just about formed it.
We should
Right
be
there.
staying funny with this. This needs an adjustment in the pagination business.
The local word auto-population.
Um,
And I'm not an expert.
I know how to do it.
But I see that you have changed the ones that the attorney had.
Yep, most of the stuff that you, or your counsel had pointed out were things that we had taken from other contracts. What we were trying to do is going from the 24-hour, 7-day-a-week contract we had that we had negotiated to one that was a little different. We were trying to blend the two. So we actually appreciated that, pointing out some of those. For the most part, were minor, but I can understand why they would cause some confusion.
Right. Yeah. And so we appreciate you doing a new contract with that. And Steve had a couple of
Yes, I just a
Go ahead, Steve.
few issues that not issues, but just little things. On page 3, item 3B under compensation, I think we've determined that we can't pay you before July 1st.
The auditors have advised us not to.
Exactly,
Right.
so I'd like to stricken the "or before" in that sentence, because
Oh,
it
yeah.
will be on July 1st that we issue a check,
Yes.
okay? That's just to clean the language up. And I would assume that that'll probably continue into next year as well. Right. It's not like a one-shot deal.
Right.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, because
So you
that's
carry
our
that
fiscal
forward.
year
Right, it's
and
just-
and the auditors.
Right, that's what
So
it-
that, yeah.
And then the next one that I had, that I was over on page 7, okay. Yes, under the section arbitration, I believe that the word town was omitted. It seemed to me that it was, because you have written there under arbitration, all claims and disputes relating to this agreement shall be subject to arbitration at the option of either the office or in accordance with, and I think we meant to substitute or insert after the word the town, or in other words, town, because we're both parties to this contract, right?
Right.
And so I would think town would probably fit in there.
Yeah, and that language is unchanged, so it's just something that's been missing since.
I think it
the
just
first
dropped
contract.
out somehow.
Yeah.
These things happen when you're typing a document this long. And the last one that I would like to see, you had some language earlier in the contract dealing with yourself or your designee. And I'd like that repeated there under item 17 on page 7 of your version. Under ours, it's 8. But anyway, under item 17, if you go down there, the second paragraph, it says, any town employee, officer, or agent who has a concern about a law enforcement action, investigation, or personnel, or who has been notified of such a concern, shall direct such concern to the select board, which will in turn direct the matter to the sheriff. I would like to suggest, or yours says sheriff for an appropriate response. I'd like there inserted what you have previously, which is or his or her designee, in the offhand chance that you may not be available or out of the country or whatever.
No, not a problem.
Those are the only items that I had as additional little snippets.
So just to remind both the board and the public, both present and watching this, is that we're going from 24 hours a day down to an average of 20. The flexibility of the scheduling would come through our office. The idea is that we vary the days and times, and trying to stay within the goal of the 7,800 hours per year. And so we will keep the board apprised of where we are from month to month. Not necessarily what the schedule is going to be for the following month, but how we're working that from the very beginning. So we've already got my supervisors working on what the schedule will look like for the first month. And so it's difficult to really put as you've noticed going back and forth with the contract, how do we document that? How do we reduce that writing? But I think we've come to what I think is a workable agreement around that.
I don't have a problem. In
I don't
fact,
have a problem.
I think the randomness of it is a good approach.
Yes.
You don't want people to know, when you're hearing about, and I love the second cruiser. Or the third, how many cars do you have? No, I don't want to know. But you certainly have plenty. It looks like my house.
Sometimes I don't have enough, but we actually received a complaint, people thought that we weren't out on the road because they saw the cars here all the
Oh,
time.
no.
Yeah,
that's
I've
not
heard
true.
that too, and I've told them.
That's all right, that's a good thing to let
Extra
them
cars.
keep in their mind, right?
Yes.
No, well, I don't even
Keep
keep
them-
hearing the complaints.
Keep them guessing.
When actually
Yeah.
the deputies are on the road. We also had sent over, we had talked about a sort of a spreadsheet, a very basic breakdown of the calls, types
Right.
of calls, call hours, call days. I didn't know, and I believe that was emailed over, I don't know if you got a chance to take a look at that.
Yeah,
It was emailed over to everybody, to the board.
yeah, but that's what we normally get anyway. I mean,
That is what you normally get, but the actual spreadsheet that he's talking about was emailed over to the board.
really?
Yes. Yeah, when
I
I went to
did.
print it out really funny.
It actually, even on the spreadsheet, it comes out kind of funny
Yeah.
because of how we
Did you get
created
it?
the tables.
I didn't get it either.
I think it was an attachment that Katrina sent out,
Oh,
but I looked at it and I couldn't make heads or tails of it and said, well, I don't think we really need that.
okay.
Well, I didn't think so. I
Yeah.
think your summary report afterwards is sufficient.
Yeah, we get that.
If you want, at some point, we can go over that again. It
Okay.
breaks it down by day, and number of calls for particular periods of time of day. So what you would expect during the day, it's busier than at night, those kind
It
of
is,
things.
it's very
And
interesting.
then we can even take, look at what's officer initiated versus call type,
Mhm.
or called made by the public, so. You would ask for that data, but if you need to, Mark Anderson certainly can come in and break it down for you, I can come in and break it down for you.
I think your assessment of the trends is something that the board can benefit from, because it's hard for us to interpret trends, but once we are notified of trends, then we can perhaps take actions that are meaningful and within our purview.
Yeah,
And this is
absolutely.
really the direction law enforcement is going, is using data to our benefit. There are analysts now for the state. Many of us have been through courses on how to analyze the data. The key is make sure you collect good data. Sometimes that doesn't happen. But the system, even the reporting system that we now use is much better than the old system. We can get reports out of it. It's all exportable to Excel. We can put it in different types of tables and make it usable.
We put this on, how about if we, well, it'll have to be in addition to the agenda. I was gonna say, so that we could get the absolute new copy and have it signed before
It's fine with me.
June 30th, so we could probably,
Just have it on the agenda for the first meeting.
Could I make
Yeah.
a motion that we approve the contract with the corrections, Steve's, and then we come in and sign it once it's
yeah, it could be put into the town clerk's
That would
office
work,
and we
sure.
can go from
I
there
don't
to
have a
sign it.
problem with that.
Okay, and so,
So just so I'm clear, so there was 3 changes. One was make sure that the first payment that isn't made till July 1st.
Right. You can have my copy if you'd like, it has them all in it if you want.
Adding town under the arbitration of that one sentence,
Right.
and the designee for me under paragraph 17.
right,
Those are the only changes.
if that's acceptable.
I have it all in
with
here
you.
for like this copy.
No, that's fine.
All right.
If that's acceptable.
Yep,
And
and then what I
then,
can do is I can, I'm out of the office tomorrow, but I can email it over to Katrina, she'll probably have it in the next day or 2.
Yeah, okay, that sounds great, and then, get it to the town clerk, and we'll go from there.
Any other questions?
Go ahead with them.
I made the motion, you're ready.
All right,
I'll second.
okay. Go ahead with the
I
discussion.
just wanna be as picky as Steve and say town with a capital T. Right?
Oh, well, that's in my notes, Brian,
Yeah.
which was, I was trying to get.
But I didn't know if he did it. Some
Well,
people don't know it,
I
yeah.
figured it out. Well, it's, but the reason I use that term is because that's how you defined it up front.
Up front.
Yeah.
All right, any more discussion from the board? Then, motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. That's what we do.
And you had a question about the copier and the hard drive?
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead, Katrina, you can take it from here and she'll explain it.
So the lease is up on our copier, as you're aware, and it has a internal hard drive in it. And so I got in touch with a leasing company, and Rico to talk about what process happens when they receive back in a police department copier. And Mark had emailed a couple of times back and forth to Chris and I about the protocol that needed to be followed. And so their security team sent me over instructions on how we're supposed to wipe the hard drive. I sent them to Mark, and Mark said, that's not good enough. And so he sent us back information pertaining to either the physical destruction, i.e. shredding, if the town chooses this, would be willing to pay for it. The cost to the town would be the hard drive to replace it. He also suggested degassing, assuming a magnetic storage device. Often renders a device inoperable due to manufacturer settings being destroyed as well, which again would mean we would have to be replacing the hard drive. So pretty much all of his suggestions ended with, we need to be replacing the hard drive. And that's, so I'm coming back to the board with that information. I don't have one from the company. They were pretty insistent that Rico deals with copiers for Homeland Security and police departments all over the place, and that they meet the standards.
Could I ask another question? How old is this machine?
We've got it in, was it 2009, 2010, something like that.
The other issue is whether they even make a hard drive that fits in that anymore. That's the other issue.
Very true,
Yeah.
very true.
So we may
Right.
not even be able to buy another one to.
We might not, we have to turn this over, we have to pay for.
We have to turn it back or we have to buy it
Right.
outright.
Oh, no, I know.
Right,
It's
so,
it's like thousands.
but we have to pay for shipping. They haven't given me shipping instructions yet, or how we're supposed to
This is a
go
big
about it.
machine,
It's a
isn't it?
big machine. I don't know how much that's going to cost. I do have all the steps and I outlined them for Chris and I believe Sandy, but what steps we have to take. It's not as simple as writing a letter. The board had asked me at the last meeting to write a letter and notify them that we were getting out of the lease, and it's not exactly that simple. We have both a copier lease and we have a maintenance agreement, and both of those require different things. And then there's a matter of shipping it back, which requires us to pay for that. And then there was the matter of the hard drive and how you wanted to handle that.
When is the lease up?
Yeah, we need to give them notification as of June 1st. That's the deadline date for them receiving any notification. A lot of it can be done, right, because you have to give 30 days notice. A lot
So
of
what
that
would they
can be
charge
done.
us if we removed that and sent the thing back without the hard drive?
They were not clear about that.
Because, I mean, what can they do?
They can refuse to accept it and we can end up buying the
That's the
entire
thing,
machine.
that's the thing we're gonna have to do anyway if we don't get this taken care of before the 1st of June.
Well, that's just notifying them. We don't have to we don't.
No, we're gonna notify them as of June 1st that the lease is, and a lot of that can be handled by email.
Yeah, but when we have a month to get it back. Yeah.
Yeah, there's, like I said, there were certain steps, so like, it's GE Leasing Company actually that owns the copier lease, so we have to notify them first, and once we get acknowledgement back from them, then we can cancel the maintenance agreement, And then once we hear back from them, we'll get shipping instructions and, yeah. So it's like, it's a little bit more,
But actually,
yes.
we would return it sometime in July, because if we paid, if the lease
Oh,
covers
yes.
through June 30th, you would think that we would be able to utilize it through the end of June. We just,
Right, very
Right.
true, but we have to get rid of that hard drive or somehow wipe it out.
right, I'm just saying, I don't think it's quite as timely necessary as like right now. I mean, we have to
Oh, no,
notify.
we have-
no,
right,
I just, the letter's gonna be written anyways by June 1st, but I'm kind of looking for direction from the board as to whether I'm calling them back and saying we're replacing the hard drive, or whether we're going to follow one of these other instructions from Mark about, he said you could get there's an IT person we could use to wipe it out, but then we assume some liabilities around that. So I'm just looking for direction from the board of which way you want to go, so when I call them back, I can.
We need to destroy the hard drive, get a new one, ship the thing back,
Yeah.
cancel all the contracts, and tell them goodbye.
Oh, boy,
Time to
big
Josh.
time.
I mean, we
Yeah.
might even be able to buy the hard drive through the service, whoever the company is that services it. Is it Rico that
Rico.
services it? So I mean, if they service it, they must
Well,
have
that's where I'd
hard
be
drives
looking to
available.
get it.
You know, I mean,
I'm
like-
not looking to go to Staples to look for a
Right.
copy or hard
Yeah.
drive.
But I mean, you know what I mean, like if we were using it and the hard drive crashed or was
Right.
damaged or whatever, they would have to replace it, so they must
Right.
have access to the hard drives.
Right.
Okay.
I think it may be beneficial to explain to the public why there's a need to do that.
Go ahead.
You're looking at a copier that's 7 to 8 years old. It's been used both by the police department and by us since we've taken over. That, when you copy something on those high-end copiers, it's retained on the hard drive. It was also used as a network printer, and it was also used as a fax. And some of that information is protected information, people's personal information, driver's license numbers, social security numbers, dates of birth. There's criminal information that's not publicly accessible. So if you don't destroy the hard drive or take proper steps that meet certain criteria around CJIS or criminal justice information, you would be essentially making that available out to anybody who found an interest in looking at it, knowing where it came from. There are steps that are recommended by the FBI that I think Mark has listed. You can run it by a human being. We do the same thing at our office. When we get rid of a laptop, a computer, we just destroy the hard drives. $100, it's, we just get rid of it. It's not worth the risk of someone's information becoming very public. And so that's why it is recommended that when you get rid of these high-end copiers / printers, that you replace or destroy the hard drive.
And Lord forbid anybody got a hold of my birth date.
Well,
Have you been arrested lately?
the thing that, this machine differs from a laptop or something in that I'm sure the hard drive is very specialized for this device. And I doubt you'd find one for $100 somewhere.
From
That would be my
Rico's
assessment.
and GE's perspective, this copier is of no value to them anyway.
That's exactly right.
Right.
But it's going to have big value until we get it back with some sort of hard drive.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Exactly.
Because we're the deep pockets and they're the ones with the contract.
Okay, so the board wants, up until June 1st, which means to take care of it, and we'll have our, administrator, work with Katrina and we'll get this done. Sound good?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Katrina.
And
Thank you.
your computer there.
Find one on eBay cheap.
You say that somewhat jokingly, but don't be all surprised if one's out there.
Well,
I know.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
If I might just ask, isn't the maintenance contract on this is not something where we can maintain this ourselves? I suspect we're not even under the contract allowed to open the door on it.
I don't know how to remove a hard drive
Well, I
from
was
there,
gonna
so.
say, I'll bet they'd
I'm
have
gonna-
to come in to do it
I'm gonna
anyway.
call the company and ask them. I tried to call the representative that sold it, but no longer at that number.
No.
So, I'll call them again and just say, we've decided, the board's decided, we wanna destroy the hard drive and replace it, so I need a cost for replacing it and, by the
Well, I
way,
would
how
say
we-
that, it has to be removed and let the sheriff's department somehow,
Who's gonna remove it, yeah.
Well, their service, we may have to coordinate with the
Yeah,
service.
because, I mean, it'd
Yeah,
be
we
up
would
to
be
them to
present when they
destroy
moved
it,
in.
I think,
Mhm.
not us.
Right.
We can
I
take
mean,
possession of it
yeah.
from them.
They'd be the
Exactly.
one,
Yeah, good idea.
physically probably removing it, putting the new one in.
Right.
Yep.
And so they would hand over the whole,
They're gonna hand over the old one and then we're gonna have to
Yep.
destroy it.
Yep. Okay, thank you
Thank
so
you.
very much. Have a great
Thank
night.
you.
Okay, the town, have a good night. Thank you, Cheryl. The town credit cards. I didn't work with Cindy on this, so I believe it's to turn over a credit card or raise up the amount to, from 500 to 1,000 or
It's-
something like that. Go ahead, Katrina.
It's to, actually, it's to raise, to get a credit card for the town clerk.
For town clerk, right?
And to have that, the credit limit amount be $1,000. And it is also, to change the, other town credit card that we have for Sally over to Cindy. And there is
Yes.
a document that the board needs to sign.
Why wouldn't that have been done when Cindy was
Probably just
appointed?
got around to it.
Okay.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I move that we have, it says the board clerk, so that's Steve, I presume, sign the business card resolution form for the town of Vernon.
Second,
Any discussion on that?
yes.
Go ahead.
Is the credit limit on this card $60,000?
That's the one, that's the general one, yeah.
That's the big, yeah.
That's just the line of credit, not the credit card.
Right.
Or
It's the treasurer's one that she hands out to the,
Oh, it's the credit card.
Yeah.
I think you're asking.
60,000.
Yeah, 60,000.
yeah. Yeah.
Wow. I can understand having a line of credit of $60,000, not accessible by credit card.
I don't think they can get cash, I think.
No, not cash.
Oh, I see.
Well, yeah, well, it's electronic cash, right? So you can have a line of credit available, and when you need to tap that credit, if we have to pay some bills or whatever before the tax installments come in or whatever, that totally makes sense. So you have a line of credit of, say, $60,000. So, Cindy would call the bank and say, I need, $40,000 of our line of credit, please transfer it to our operating account. And then she can cut checks off of it. So she has access to the line
I
of
know, but
credit.
why would we ever need that? We've never done that, ever.
Well, then why do we have a $60,000?
I have no idea. It'd be a good thing to have the
my-
treasurer in here and find this
Yeah.
out, because
My-
well,
I
let
didn't
me-
know we had a $60,000
Let me
credit
look
card.
and
It's
see
in
what
that
the emails.
pile of documents that you just signed. I saw it there this morning.
What?
I didn't sign anything.
The warrants, you didn't sign any of the warrants? Really?
I
No,
haven't
really.
seen- I
It's in there,
understand-
it says what the credit limit is.
I didn't see the
Yeah,
warrants,
it's-
so.
That's on there every.
Because I believe that it's used, or at least my understanding is it's used for, like, if David, if he needed, the highway needed it, they could take that credit card and go
Oh,
wherever and use it.
absolutely.
So-
I understand that. My concern is the level of exposure of a
Oh, exactly
$60,000
right.
credit limit. I mean,
David has
you
his
know,
hand up too.
Yes, go ahead, David.
I think you'll find each department has their own card and it's off that one, because I do have one at the garage.
Yeah, it's off of this one.
okay, so it's 60,000 for like
I don't know
maybe
how many
like 7
cards.
or 8 cards or something like
Right.
that, yeah. Okay, so that makes a little bit more.
Well, I said all department heads, but
yeah,
yeah.
I'm just
I'm
concerned.
concerned too,
I don't know what
because-
the credit, my concern is if David's wallet gets stolen and he's got a credit card with a $10,000 limit, I mean, obviously you.
1,000. Can we get the treasurer in
I don't
here?
hear that one.
Let me,
No.
hang on a second, I was just trying to find the original email that she sent around to you guys, so that you could see what she.
Well, that
Retaining
would've-
information, cause I don't remember email.
Yeah, it would have been,
I'm just not retaining
Probably good to
information
have here.
the way it is.
all right, got that in
I
my
just-
box, yeah, right. And I deleted them already.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a huge deal if you've got multiple credit cards that total up to $60,000.
I
My
think that's
concern
what I
is just,
saw it there.
yeah, and my concern is if there's one credit card or two credit, that have a substantial credit limit available, what happens if it gets stolen and
Oh,
someone
you're
goes on a
absolutely
shopping
right.
spree,
Or
you know
worse
what I
yet,
mean?
it could easily get hacked,
Yeah.
the way
Yeah.
the internet is these days, and
Yeah,
you're right,
so-
and they'd have, but I know it's been in that, the monthly bills.
Are the warrants
Yes.
down here?
They were, we
Warrants
just
are down
signed them
here.
all.
Yeah, they're all right here.
Oh. Well, let me take a peek. Let's see.
Did you find it?
I found where he wrote, the bank actually wrote back, about the resolution. Credit card resolution, which is a form that you're looking, that you have there.
Yes, right.
And he states in here, attached is a credit card resolution for the board to sign at their meeting scheduled for May 16th. Please have them adopt the resolution and have it signed off by the board clerk. As the documents read right now, Cindy is the only person who can request new cards and the individual limits to be changed. If you want another individual, have that authority, please include their name and title under Cindy's name. So this resolution is only for.
That's not,
Right,
the board
right.
never has any control over that. That if Cindy wants to put her assistant on that, then she has every right to do that, but we don't
Right,
have
and
credit
he.
cards in our names or anything
No,
ever.
but the implication there is that
I
there's
know.
more than one card to that, to this
Yes.
account.
Yes. What's the board's pleasure to go
I've
ahead
got a
and
motion and a
get,
second on the floor.
yeah, for Tim?
I'm ready. Wait. That's not what this is.
There are two issues.
Yeah.
That's right.
One is to issue a credit card to
Tim.
Tim
Our-
with a
our
credit limit of
intended-
So
$1,000.
Cindy's just asking for us to approve.
Approve that.
Okay.
Yes.
But this is just to name Cindy as the only person that can do that.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Motion's been made and seconded, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. Did you say aye?
I did.
Okay.
He's what needs to sign.
What?
It says
Uh,
board clerk.
You got a
Yeah.
second?
It says board clerk,
Yes.
which is
What do you mean? board?
Yeah, do you have
Oh, it
an
does
original?
say
That's you.
board.
That's you.
I have a copy of it.
Yeah, I have
She
the,
has,
Here's the
she always
original
has
for
the
you.
Oh, you have
originals.
the original?
Yeah.
yeah.
I have to sign, I am the board clerk.
I've never.
Goodness gracious. Oh, let me get my carcass out of the chair. You think you have it over there? Do you
Yep,
want-
I do.
you
No,
want
I have
mine?
it, it's right here.
No, she can bring it to you.
No, why not? I need to get up occasionally and stretch my legs here a little bit. This will be an excuse to do so. And look, I can even walk.
I'm so proud of you, Steve.
Yes,
Good for you.
hobble, actually. Hang on, it's gonna take a while. I got too many letters in my name. There we go.
Thank you.
And look, I get a mint.
Good job.
I knew there was a prize.
Okay, we all set? Moving on.
So do we need to vote on Tim, or is that just a consensus?
You made the motion to sign the town resolution.
So
Right.
that gave,
You did not
and
make
she
a
can do
motion.
it.
Well, that,
Okay, the
Is she
motion
just-
read
she's
that to
just
sign the
asking.
town, to sign the resolution.
Right.
It didn't mention anything about Tim. Do you
I know,
want a
but
separate-
we just gave permission to Cindy to do that.
is she just looking for our blessing?
She's looking for, I think it's the $1,000 that she wants specified.
Okay,
It's
well
a
then go
credit
ahead.
limit amount that she
Sandy,
would
go
like
ahead and make the
specified.
motion.
Motion that Tim have a credit card with a limit of $1,000.
Second.
All right, any more discussion on that? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Now, what's next?
You guys opposing over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Why? Oh. All right, cemetery deeds, we have, one that has three. Yep. Go ahead, Sandy.
Madam Chair, I move we approve and sign the cemetery deed for Lawrence Shippey Senior and Sonia Shippey for lots 352, 353, and 354 in North Cemetery, so called. These are single grade lots, and so this fee is $450.
Second.
Okay, if any discussion, hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carried. All right,
So unless they're not being printed on good paper anymore, I don't have any originals from him.
Okay,
So I'd have to ask the board to stop in and sign,
we can probably sign one of these.
or can sign, I don't,
Yeah, because he's gonna record it on the archival paper.
I didn't know if the signatures had to be on that paper,
Not the
original.
archival.
Okay, then you can sign one of these.
all right, we'll sign
We're
Sandy.
good.
I think
Do we have a notary here?
I'm notary, but
You can't notarize your own.
I don't have my seal anyway.
You don't need to seal in the state of Vermont, but we probably shouldn't sign it, though. We need a notary to notarize our signatures.
We have live video.
Yeah.
Does it
That's not
matter?
a notary.
It's not a
No,
notary.
but to show to a notary, does that not work?
I
Oh,
can't.
well,
So we'll have
I'll just
to
wait, if you can stop in to.
We'll stop in
Okay.
to the
I'll
town
let Tim
office,
know.
okay? There's two things to sign at the town office. Okay? All right, library trustee letter. We had sent a letter to the library trustees, and we received a letter back. And I'll pass it around so everybody can read it.
It's not in our packet, is it?
No, I got it back in, I guess it was mid-April, something like that. And, but I kept forget to put it on the agenda. And, just to let you all know what.
Oh, thank you.
How's supper tonight, Josh?
It's fantastic. You always serve the same thing though.
I
So let's
know, I
talk-
do, don't I? I gotta get some more of those crunchy things.
yeah, sure.
Any discussion on this? If not, we'll move on. Okay, moving on.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what I do.
Stand up, she'll see you.
Now, I'm,
If go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, I'm still feeling new at this,
Okay?
meaning procedure and protocol.
Mhm.
I'm not knowledgeable,
We do want you to speak into the microphone.
so I
Please,
don't
you
wanna
have
do-
to come up to the
I'm just saying, I
microphone.
don't wanna do the wrong thing.
Oh,
I
you
think she's
do, you
asking
do.
if she can come forward and speak.
Sure, of course.
Thank you, Katrina. All I wanted to do was sort of reiterate what was in our message to you and to thank you for bringing your concerns to, the trustees' attention. And it has definitely been discussed, and of course, we took it seriously, and we want to do our best to make personnel matters and communication in the town offices go more smoothly. We want to thank you for bringing that to our attention, and as a board and even, our chair, we're gonna do our best to take the initiative to see the communication. Okay, it is more all across the board, more timely, more positive, yeah, and more thorough.
All right,
Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Anybody have anything to say?
No.
Okay, good. Well, let's move on. All right, paving bids. David, come on up, you're up here, let's, okay, that's fast enough, go sit down. No, I'm kidding. You have paving bids for us.
Yeah, I know. You probably didn't bring a copy of the bid spec, did you? You did? Because I would just love to take a peek at that. I wasn't familiar with it before. Well, I mean, I didn't.
No, I think it's wonderful,
Did you
because
see it?
I have no idea.
David has everything.
No, have you seen this?
No, I haven't.
Oh, but you were able to review this without,
No.
see, I'm new at this game, so
We,
these folks are all.
I have no
old hands.
idea about a bid spec,
Well,
so
I
I'm glad
do.
that you do, so.
Well, I do in general expect to bid.
I don't know anything that you don't know anything about in general,
Stop.
Steve.
Stop.
No, it's true.
What's his bid for?
Paving.
Paving, obviously.
On the road.
Oh, that's right, the south end? Or
Bolton
the-
Hill to just past the pool.
Oh, so like the middle third maybe? Okay. Bolton Hill.
So will this include correcting the parking area in front of Tyler? Thank you so
But
much.
the only thing that's gonna correct there will be the lines when they paint it.
That's okay.
That way it'll be still paving over there, we don't have to worry about anything.
Is this skim top like the last thing that you did, or is this tearing it down paving?
Nope, well, it's an overlay, an inch and a half overlay.
But is it where you just do the
We-
lanes?
Nope,
or-
it'll be the whole thing.
Oh, the whole thing,
The
okay.
whole thing. We did the shim, so they're gonna come in and do the whole road down, like we did with the lanes.
Oh,
We did
okay.
that, this is.
Right, yeah, I knew you guys did that.
What about the bike lanes? Remember, and I know I've asked you this many times before, but we have had a couple of people ask, why isn't one side wider like it used to be than the other side?
Because you need to have it on both sides. bike
The
lane.
same amount, or the same, what do you call it, width?
Width.
Yeah,
We,
on both sides, okay.
when it comes to painting lines, we're gonna try to correct some of that.
Okay, yeah, because I've had a lot of people ask me, and I said, I told them that I would ask you. All right, so, and I'm sure they will be watching, thank you.
So lane is significantly lower.
Yeah,
The total?
yep.
And your recommendation is?
Lane construction for the complete project.
So moved.
I need a second, or that motion's gonna die.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Now you can,
I did,
Any
you said that
discussion?
it says, I didn't see, okay, pond road paving, that's, okay. And the length of it again, is that specified in 1302?
Yep. Right
I
under the,
just couldn't really see it, I might be able to see it better, but it's hard for me to.
that's the
Gotcha.
narrow section.
Thank you,
That's
thank
the
you.
Newton Road, and
So
from
it's
Newton
a
Road to the pool.
essentially a mile, almost 2 miles.
Mile and a half.
Mile and, more than.
Well, yeah.
Very good, thank you.
all right, any more discussion?
Yeah, I have a question.
Sure.
So in the leftmost box is the total amount. Does that take into account the per day rental of the shoulder
No,
machine? Or
that,
no?
that's only a rough per total, because it's by the ton. It's $54.95 a ton,
So is the total underneath just the cost for
the
the
pavement.
tar?
And that will vary because we'll do in front of the mailboxes and stuff, so there's gonna be
Right, yeah, okay.
a
I didn't
flex.
know,
That's just the straight shot.
yeah, I didn't know if that total included an estimate of like number of days, therefore the number of rental.
No, that is for doing the shoulders, the gravel along the sides. And they're gonna try to do it in a day, with the other ones we're looking at 3 days.
Oh, okay,
So there is a difference there.
okay.
The smaller guys are going longer and the
Right,
companies
because
that
the
are bigger.
cruisers, their
Right.
cruisers are smaller, yeah. Okay.
Okay, any more discussion?
I think that's the wise.
All right, motion's been made and seconded, all those in favor, for lane construction, for awarding the bid to lane construction. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you for repeating the motion.
Thank you.
Does your answer question?
I don't remember what was the motion.
All right, thank you.
That's that?
I think so, David.
So David, that would be for the 159, 739.65 plus the cost of the rental.
Well, no, that's not,
It's price per ton, that was estimated for the cost of the pavement.
right, it's 54.95 per ton. That's it.
And then,
Plus the, plus the.
and then however
Plus the
many,
rental and so on
and
and so
many
forth.
days
right.
that they have to use that machine
Yep,
for shoulders
Yeah.
and
It's the
roller
roller,
and
yep,
sweeper. Yeah.
which we're gonna try to do it all in one day.
Wow, that's amazing, isn't it? Or no?
Well, we did the village in one day.
I guess
so
Lane
we
is-
figured two and it took us one.
Lane's just down the street, so it's, you know.
Well, we're gonna haul the gravel right off of Westrook, so.
Oh, good, well, then you're, local graphic.
yeah, yeah, okay, all right, very good.
Okay.
Thank you very, very much, David.
Yep.
And now we have Todd,
Todd,
yes, two of them.
yeah, good. Clear the slate with 2 items here.
Yep, 2 items.
They'll both be quick.
Okay, that's enough. All right.
Empty handed again. We haven't had any contact for the truck at all.
No, you're fine.
So
Sorry.
I was talking to the old Spofford fire chief, I think last week or the week before, and he said that Chesterfield used a company out of Auburn, Maine, Northeast Emergency Apparatus that sales, service, and refurbishments. He saw a couple of their brush trucks, and they got upwards of I think one was $6,500 for one of their brush trucks, and the other one was like $7,800. So I'm gonna try and give them a call tomorrow and see what the scoop is with that, if there's any
So
commission.
nobody
or-
has gotten back to you?
I think you should buy it personally.
Me?
Yeah, put it on your front lawn.
Yeah, you need a brush truck.
Hey, I could maybe put hens and chickens in that,
Maybe chicken coop, but,
right? Yeah.
so that's what I'm gonna head that way. I kinda wanted to,
I'm sure that the people on West Road would love that because half my chickens are always crossing the road.
so I wanted to wait to call these guys as a last resort, just in case somebody last minute local wanted it, but, so I'm gonna try and get that done tomorrow.
Have we
Okay.
talked to Jason Hensky locally to see?
I never even thought about Jason. I mean, they're gonna give us a couple thousand for a trade-in on it, so I think that's,
I can remember a while back, how many years ago though, I don't know, but Larry Shippey was interested in buying one of the fire trucks. So, you might ask
I
him.
tried selling to
That's senior,
Jeff,
not junior.
Jeff Dunkley, so I should talk to his dad.
Well, I see Jason selling used equipment a lot online, so
I'll just shoot him an email,
Yeah.
call him.
okay.
Okay, very good. We should put it maybe on the next agenda, which is June 6th, yep. All right, and the fire muster, Todd would like to know if, you're gonna have town picnic this year? Any town function whatsoever, no?
No money.
No money?
I think there's I don't know, maybe $1,000 left in that
Oh.
fund.
How much do the fireworks cost?
And no fireworks?
Upwards of 35 to 5,000, depending
Yeah.
on the show.
Yeah, people didn't, it's too bad, they'll feel it this year because we won't have it,
It won't be there.
that's right. And everybody will be calling, Chris, why aren't, what day is the fireworks? And I'll be saying, well, but Todd would like to have a muster. Go ahead, Todd,
Right,
please explain.
we wanted to do the second annual fire muster along with the barbecue. But being that there was no town picnic, we wanted to make sure that it was still okay to go ahead and move forward with the 2 events. Seth has the
On what day would that be, Todd?
June 25th, I believe?
It's the
June
Saturday
25th?
before 4th of July, right?
Yeah,
Well,
pretty sure.
well,
And it would
technically
be
that would be July 2nd, but it's always been the last Saturday.
last Saturday. And also, that will be on the Stewart property, same as last,
Stewart property, right.
Baseball.
Stewart property.
Baseball.
It used to be the Streeter property, but it's the Stewart property now, right? Am I correct?
Baseball field?
Yes.
The Huckle Hill
It's
baseball
it's
field.
the
Oh, okay.
Stewart property, but it's
To all the younger folks, it's the baseball field.
That's where I'm at.
Smarty
I don't know
pants.
whose
Are we
store
talking
street
gray
it
hairs
is.
here again?
Yeah, we just wanted to double check, it's still kosher to do that.
Okay,
And I've already talked with Todd that money that's left within the town picnic fund, we will, be supporting the muster and doing whatever we can as a town to make it successful and draw as many residents as we can in to enjoy the day.
okay, and, last year you had, select board members doing it, I can't. Don't ask the chair, please, because I don't have the, energy or the,
We,
health to do it, so I can't
we
stand
actually
there
put our feelers
and
out
be the
to,
judge, although I love to, I loved it.
Dave Emery Senior, he's gonna come and get all day.
Oh, good.
Oh, good,
Oh, cool.
good.
And it's some of the older, I know Skip Donnell from Northfield, he does the Greenfield judging. for
Oh,
the
good.
fire, something like
Yeah,
that.
I thought we did pretty good, we didn't let you win.
That's why I don't play, 'cause I'm a sore loser. No, just kidding.
No,
We probably still will have the town softball game
I hope
the
so.
morning of,
I hope so.
just
I hope so too.
because we have a blast doing that and it always draws out 30 to 40 people normally.
Yeah, it's fun to
So-
watch.
Cool.
Okay, do we need a, wait a minute, let me go, Veronica.
I was just wondering, I've heard in the past there's been potlucks, I don't know if they're with the picnic or anything, is there any option to open it up to people for potluck, or?
Well, he's gonna
We do
have
barbecue.
he's gonna have a barbecue.
Barbecue is a
Yeah, but-
fundraiser.
It's a fundraiser for the fire department.
They were
The
gonna
Yes.
barbecue.
They're gonna
hamburgers,
sell
I didn't
chicken.
understand the format,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
No chicken?
hamburgers, hot dogs, popcorn,
Oh,
cotton candy.
all right, well then, excuse me, hamburgers and hot dogs.
And you could try, well, we don't know what the final product would look like, but, is it Kona Ice or whatever? The
Yeah.
ice cream truck or whatever?
Yeah.
Do you remember what their deals are? They bring
They
the truck down and they give
They
a certain
come, whatever
percentage.
they sell, they give you a percentage of it. They don't charge you anything to come. They just come, and then they give you a percentage of their
See,
profits for
you
the
should
day.
hook up with Kona Ice. And that could be funding for fireworks next year.
We would, it's a couple $100 when it was at full tilt, very big town picnic. Our take was a couple $100 from Kona Ice.
Got funded
So
by-
maybe in about 15 years, we'd have enough money for one fireworks show.
I just want to throw my personal opinion out there. I'm pretty disappointed that we're not having town picnic or fireworks.
I am too.
Yeah, well, that's not a board decision, it's
No, I
the
know, I know,
majority
it
of
was
the people.
just my opinion.
If anybody would like to donate to the town picnic fund, you are more than welcome to bring money into the town treasurer.
Yeah,
When would you?
Noted to the town picnic fund
for next year.
for
Well, if
whenever.
we could get a $5,000 donation, or 10,000 like VY used to,
If I could get a $3,000 donation, we would have fireworks this year.
anyway, there you have it, to the public.
Josh, do you
Anybody
wanna
wants
have
to
a town
donate?
picnic committee meeting? Sometime?
Nobody ever shows up. It's me most of the time.
Well, I'm kind of offering to,
Okay,
you wanna get together sometime and talk about town picnic?
sure.
Sounds good.
Okay, somebody wanna do a motion?
Madam Chair,
Yes,
I move that we approve and extend our thanks to the fire department for their muster.
okay, I need a second,
Second, and
All
then
right.
I have a question.
sure.
Have you checked with Seth?
Yeah.
Make sure, okay.
He actually got a hold of us a couple weeks ago and said that it was, 25th was set aside for us.
Perfect. That's all I need.
Okay, motion's been made and any more discussion first? Motion's been made and seconded, for the muster and a thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. All right, we're moving on. Approval of minutes. What's the board's pleasure?
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the minutes of the special meeting of April 26, 2016, and the regular meeting minutes of May 2nd, 2016.
As written?
As written.
Friendly amendment. Okay, second, somebody?
Second.
We actually have a correction on the minutes for May 5th. Or May 2nd, I'm sorry.
Wow, she writes the minutes and she corrects them.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
Somebody else did.
Let's hear it.
Nancy Dubrow was
Thank you.
not here after the executive session for the public participation. That question was actually asked by Barbara Mosley.
oh, okay.
So I need to correct a name.
Okay, very good.
And I'll take that as a friendly amendment.
And a friendly second? Okay. Any more discussion? All those in favor of approving minutes of April 26th special meeting, May 2nd regular meeting, and the May 2nd, the special one as written, May 2nd as corrected. All those in favor? Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Okay, very good. All right,
Madam Chair.
Yes.
On the subject of warrants, I move that we authorize the payment of the following warrants. First one is 15-16.22, accounts payable in the sum of $297,563.15. And warrant number 18S, payroll for $9,529.08. And warrant 19S, payroll in the amount of $7,320.53.
second. Any discussion? All right, motion's been made and seconded to approve and sign warrants 15-1622, accounts payable in the amount of $297,563.15. 18S payroll, $9,529.08. 19S payroll, $7,320.53. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I'm abstaining because I didn't get done.
One abstention. Any noes? No noes. No noes.
Madam Chair,
You got it.
I think your recording system did something. And if we could pause for a moment, I could change a battery on my camera.
We can take a recess if that's the board's pleasure.
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, you got 5 minutes.
I just need 2 probably.
2
But
minutes.
thank you.
Okay, Windham Regional is an addition.
Yes. Did you want me to
And-
describe that? or-
Yes, and Pete, I'm so sorry.
Pete. My middle
Steve.
name is Pete. So
Okay.
you're right on target.
All right. Steve will
Probably don't know why
explain
I
it.
made Pete in the middle.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Haven't got a clue. Okay, well.
My brother's middle name was Peter.
Don't see, yeah. Okay, Madam Chair, I turned over to you a copy of the Vernon Town Plan, the WRC Vernon Town Plan contract. Essentially what that is an amount of 2,000, and I forget the other numbers because I didn't keep a,
$2,275?
$2,275 that was allocated at town meeting to provide the support that the Vernon Planning Commission needs from Windham Regional Commission to revise their town plan, incorporating some of the new stuff. Some of that includes new language or additional language about attracting new businesses. It also includes some floodplain stuff, because there's changes in the floodplain and fluvial erosion portion of the town plan that is state mandated. And so, and the bid came in, I think, very low from what I remember the last time we had WRC help out. So, and we think that, the Planning Commission voted to approve that last Wednesday. and forward it on to this body for their final approval of the contract. And then once this board approves that, then it will go on to WRC. So I move that we instruct the chairman of the select board to sign and approve the contract on our behalf with Windham Regional Commission.
I have a question.
First, you have to second it.
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you.
Now I have a question.
Now you can.
Okay, so this money was allocated this year, right, at town meeting, so it can't be expended till after July 1st, is that?
That's right.
That's correct.
Okay.
And they're not planning to get started, but
Right.
the planning commission has a number of irons in the fire and wouldn't be able to get to it till later in
All right.
Okay.
So I think perhaps that maybe that might be added to the motion, that it will get paid until the 1st of July? Are you sure that happens, or
After the 1st of July.
what'd I say?
You said till the 1st of July, but say after.
After the 1st of July, okay.
I so modify my motion to indicate that this work and the subsequent payment will occur after July 1st of
Okay, and we'll so
2016.
modify the second, okay. All right, please, Brian.
It also includes the updates to the town plan, also includes fiber optics, or actually, maybe not specifically fiber optics,
Well,
but broadband communications.
improvements.
And it's not just for business, it's to help businesses and civic associations, civic bodies, and also residents. And we have, the fiber optics committee has submitted language on that to the
Yes.
planning commission.
That's true.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. All right, motion's been made and seconded for me to sign this agreement to pay after July 1st, $2,275 to WRC. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Right.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Madam Chair, I might point out that attached to that is kind of a schedule of work, in case you have any questions on the specifics of it.
Yeah, how about if I pass that over? Do you want this back, or do you want
It
Katrina
needs
to go ahead and send it?
Right, and we need to retain a copy of it, of course.
Yes, you'll get a copy for,
And then it needs to go up to Chris Campbell.
Yeah, but they haven't seen it.
yeah, and, yeah.
I've seen it, so.
Okay, next is new business, memorandum, go
Well,
ahead.
I have 3 other items for the planning commission. Do you mind if I quickly cover
I have
these?
that.
Oh, you have them? I'm
Yes,
sorry.
I mean,
I didn't want to miss.
yeah, no, they're here, but they're not on until,
I see.
after this one.
Oh,
Let's
all
get
right,
this
very good.
taken care of
Never
anyway.
mind.
That goes with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yes, what'd I do? Give it to you?
You threw it back at me.
Just keep tossing everything
Just
in
don't
the
slap
pile,
my
that's
hands.
fine. I'll just work through it all.
Okay, a memorandum of understanding RSVP. Does somebody have anything on this? Because this is all that I have, is right here. Go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
apparently they host a what's called a bone builders program here.
Yeah,
And so they are looking,
for money?
no,
Oh.
no, this has nothing to do with money. I think what they're looking for here is that it verifies that this is a nonprofit with a policy of non-discrimination regarding race, creed, color. That the volunteers will not displace any paid employees. Tim actually received this and talked to the gentleman about it. It's just a memorandum of understanding of what they provide, what the purpose of the Bone Builders is, and it just outlines their
And
whole
they
program.
they have their own liability insurance, and, as long as they have their own liability insurance, I guess everything's,
Yeah, and it's not just bone builders, I mean, they do reception work and
Right.
everything too.
yeah.
Right, this one in particular, he was asking, the
It's
guy
just for the
emailed
Bone
about it
Builders,
was
right?
about Bone Builders,
Yeah.
but, yeah. So,
Some
I
of
don't
these
really see any
arms
place for the
is going
board
on
to
with
sign.
Oh,
Maybe she's.
See, I figured out how to turn it off.
oh, turn it totally off.
I didn't know what else to do with it. For RSVP.
Well, oh. Okay.
Somebody else's phone is, no? That'd be mine, I hope.
That's my pacemaker, Chris, I apologize, but,
You don't have a pacemaker.
yes, and I have nitro too.
I have nitro
All right. No,
too, but
I'm just kidding, I don't have a pacemaker.
I know you don't.
So the contact person for Bone, for this program is Stephen Overton. And he said that he wants us to, basically he would like you guys to sign off on it, but there's no place for you to really sign on this form.
No, the station representative.
Right, I mean, I suppose you could sign there.
I think that it would be more of Kevin, because he's here during the day, and
Well, and that was brought up, but Kevin felt like he wanted the board to sign off
because,
on
I
it.
mean, we've never received this to do anything, it's always been the,
We sign as, he
maintenance
said we
person.
sign as station representative, and he will sign, Steve will sign as coordinator and return a copy.
Did you want a motion, Madam Chair?
well, I guess so.
I move that we approve the RSVP request for authorization, and that we authorize the chair of the select board to sign on behalf of the select board.
Second.
Any discussion?
I would have liked more information on exactly what they were asking for.
I know, I'm like,
Agreeing
kinda
agreeing to be a site.
Yeah, is it just for bone builders and is Heather no longer doing it and, you know?
It said RSVP trains the instructors, Mary Miller, and provides all the weights free of charge.
That's.
Yeah, because doesn't Heather do something a little bit different?
She does yoga, doesn't she?
Yeah, I thought the Bone Builders was Mary Miller.
The first paragraph is what I kind of skipped over and I shouldn't
Yeah.
have, but it says, this is a statement of policies and regulations governing the placement and utilization of RSVP volunteers at donated sites who host RSVP managed programs, or with sites who are recipients of RSVP volunteer-produced products or services. It is the intent of this memorandum of understanding to promote cooperation, clarify responsibilities, and define working relationships between RSVP and each volunteer station. And then it goes into the policies and regulations that the RSVP maintains. The general policy about who they service, the assignments, orientation and training, screening and supervision, recording of volunteer hours, and insurance. So it's just notifying us of what their operation, their directives, so that they're upfront and open with how they operate, and it's just us saying basically that we've received it and we acknowledge it. So I think that's all, it's not a contract, it's not a,
Yeah, it's just that we've never had this
Yeah.
before, because our maintenance foreman has always taken care of it. and,
Well, it might be something new for them too, that may have come up that says,
Well, that's true, too.
their insurance company or their lawyer or whatever may have said, for every site that you provide services in, you may want to provide this so that they know that you cover insurance or, whatever, so.
And I think this is a worthwhile thing for the board to review briefly and to take action on one way or the other, but I do see them as offering a valuable service.
Yes. All right, any more discussion? Motion's been made and seconded for me to sign as station representative on RSVP. Anyway, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You want me to sign this one and
Nope, I want you to sign these two, and I'll return both to them.
two?
Yeah, we signed two because we try to keep one copy with actual signatures here at the town office of all contracts.
You might want to sign it in the right place, and then print your name in the bottom.
Hang on a second.
What is it?
You didn't sign it in the right place.
Oh, I didn't?
Hang on, don't.
I've got, she can have my copy.
My
Okay,
copy.
fine.
It said sign below, I signed below.
It says, please print below.
Katrina, on that contract with.
I'm trying to hurry it.
Probably.
Okay,
Just put it in your box.
okay.
You're doing a good job, man.
Trying.
Thank you.
Huh? You get rid of the ones you can't,
Yeah, we thought you should
Okay,
Those are
thank you.
copies.
Did I do right this
Yes,
time?
yes, you did.
Please check it
Right?
over.
I'll make sure Sandy looks at it.
Yeah. Gotcha. I cannot do anything in printing, because I end up writing every time. Alright, done. All right, now Vernon Planning.
Yay.
Yay, you're on
I
again,
have
Steve.
3 items. I attended the planning commission meeting as liaison from the select board last Wednesday, and they asked me, in addition to what you already reviewed, 3 other things. First, should the select board provide a response to the Windham Regional Commission regarding the potential state purchase of power dams and property along the Connecticut and River and Deerfield River? There's apparently still some time to get something in writing to the WRC. So that's first item. And so I'm just tossing that out as a, do you want to do anything with that? And I think some of you may have seen the letter, the original request from WRC for providing information. And if you didn't, well, you certainly probably have heard about the potential sale of the dams.
I think we're gonna talk about it later.
Yeah, I have
Okay.
that under contractual stuff, under
Oh,
executive
all right,
session.
so, oh, really? All right,
Yeah.
never mind then. The second item, I'll just go over these and you can decide what you want to do with them. Should the select board weigh in on the relicensing of the First Light Northfield Pump Storage Facility, especially considering the significant impact to riverbank integrity south of the Vernon Hydro Station on the Vernon side of the river? That's the second question. And they are going through relicensing phase at.
But we don't really own that much. We
It's
don't
just-
own river, right?
We
Just
own
the-
from the Vernon Dam all the way to the Mass line. Well, I mean Vernon, the town of Vernon exists from the Vernon Dam all the way to.
Well, I realize that we own the land beside it, but we don't only go in.
But that's not what the problem is.
Oh.
This is streambank erosion.
Okay.
For instance, Jeff Dunkley at one of his fields has lost
Yes.
1,000 feet of
Wow.
river frontage, 60 feet in.
Wow.
So think about that.
I'm not familiar with the First Light Northfield Pump Storage Facility or what it,
You know.
no.
What it is in Northfield, back in '72, they built what's called a pump storage project. And high up on the Northfield Mountain, they built a reservoir.
Okay,
And then down underneath the reservoir, tunnels to the Connecticut River
okay.
that essentially pump water from the Connecticut River up into the reservoir. And then when they need power, they let it down through the same thing that they pumped it up with, which turn into turbines, which generate electricity. And they can put out about, 1,000 megawatts of electricity for 4 hours. What that does is it acts like a battery. It takes electricity that's generated at night, pumps the water up, and then during the daytime, when there's a peak demand, they let it down. The downside is, it's all going back into the Connecticut River, And what's happened over the years, and it's been since 72, so 43 years or so, 44 years, the Streambank, Connecticut River isn't used to a tidal surge. And what's happening is these banks are weakening and collapsing into the river. And not only have we lost land here in Vernon, but they've lost much more in Northfield, which owns both sides of the river, and then some in Hinsdale, but they don't seem to care over it.
So the.
Well, they don't. I mean,
So where's the facility? It's in Northfield?
It is in south end of Northfield.
So it's still, it surges up.
Oh, it comes,
upstream?
it changes the water level potentially here at the, below the Vernon Dam by 9 feet.
Really?
Yes, we're talking an awful lot of water awfully quickly.
Is that how we found the Indian skeleton, because of that?
Maybe, I don't know,
Probably.
I'm not sure, but you figure this is a 9-foot
God,
tidal
remember that?
surge. And it can occur within, I mean, it does occur within, 4 or 5 hours. Yes.
I'm
Oh,
also
pardon me, I'm not authorized.
You have to come up to the
You have to come
microphone,
up to the
David.
microphone.
Thank you.
I wanna point out one thing too about Northfield side. Remember, they logged that riverbank back in '79, the whole length of the Connecticut River, so they created some of their own problem down there.
Yes, but the side, where nobody logged,
Right,
it's
right, it's
falling
being
in
affected,
too.
but down there, they logged and they
well,
took all the trees down.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But at any rate, so it is a big impact. Oops, that.
Is your name
it's me.
tonight?
I
That was
fell
your
on the
title.
floor. There I go. Anyways,
And we saw it because you were not incognito tonight with
I
your,
was
you know,
not,
camera.
yeah, right. Anyway, so that's what's happening. There's a relicensing going on. They have to go through a 40-year relicensing, and they're going through that now. And I've been going to the meetings down there in Greenfield on they're called, it's called Streambank Erosion Subcommittee of the Franklin Council of Governments or Governments of Councils or something, I don't know what.
Should we appoint somebody to, be the select board's rep at this meeting?
Well, I've been going, but I was appointed by the last select board.
Well, I know, but I mean to speak for us.
Well, I think it's more whether we want to generate any kind of a letter expressing concern.
I think we should.
Yeah, well, it is losing part of Vernon.
Yeah.
you know.
I think we should.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's
If
gonna need.
agricultural land has gone in 60 feet from the river because
Well,
of this,
yes, yeah.
I think we should weigh in.
Well, what I would suggest then is that let me put something together.
Okay,
John Bennett will help me from the Regional Commission, because he's on this council too, and then I'll bring it back to the board.
that sounds wonderful, thank you,
Thank you,
Steve.
Steve.
And then, and the last one, we've already taken steps to deal with, so I won't get into it, but I wanted, the planning commission wanted to be sure that Michelle was invited to the thing on Wednesday, so that she'd have an opportunity to see what was going on.
Yes, and thank you for taking care of that
No
for
problem,
us.
yeah, so that's it. And I will generate a letter.
Did you have a copy of this?
That's from, I think you did have a copy of this. Read that earlier.
That's all I have from the planning commission.
Okay, very good. Because we're gonna go in executive session on
Don't forget
several
the
matters.
seniors.
Yes, I wanna do that.
Okay.
But let me, I had something else too. I'll take Nancy first. Come on up, Nancy. Yeah, thank you. Why, because I always do?
Sometimes you do.
I'm not denying that.
I would like you to know that the seniors have been talking for quite some time about doing something in memory of Cookie Allen. And I told them that we really need to talk to the select board. They want to do a marble bench
Wow.
up here as you walk up the stairs into the town office, either on the left or the right-hand side, and place it. And they're getting ready to get the particulars, just a simple thing, on the price, et cetera, we have been fundraising and we have the money and we'll be taking care of it, but I do believe we need permission
Yes,
to place it
on-
and
On the town, on
let
the
you all
town
know.
property, I don't know.
On the 142 side of the building?
the front part, yes.
I don't know what you consider the front, so it's either the
Where,
142 side or the
yes,
Governor Hunt
yes, I'm
side,
sorry,
so, okay.
the 142
Yeah.
side.
Governor Hunt, that's our plan.
It's a great idea.
I don't have a problem with it.
She gave a lot to the town.
And they're planning on, in memory of, and stating what was in the newspaper, the quote, the gentle kindness, or whichever way it was, putting it on. Do you have any problems? Do you want to look at what we would have inscribed into it before we do it?
Well, as long as you don't give us all the dickens, I guess you'd be fine.
Madam Chair, I move
Yes.
that we authorize them to set it up and use their discretion.
Thank you.
Second.
We'll
All
get
right.
back to you with
Yeah.
everything when we have it
Yeah.
all together.
All right, discussion?
Two things. One, the address of this building is Governor Hunt, so that's the front.
Okay, so the
Just,
fact
I
then.
think that's a fact. And the other thing is, as a person who.
Thank you for putting the monkey wrench into our thoughts that the front was over here.
It does, now, I would think it's the front too, except that the address is Governor Hunt.
It's okay.
It's also easier to get in. The other thing about the material for the bench, I would like to recommend that you use a recycled material instead of marble or stone. That's it.
Why?
There's polymers or something, there's recycled material. They make benches out of things like tires and stuff.
Oh,
that are-
they've looked into that and they do not want that.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Now I understand what you're saying.
Any more discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank
There
you.
you go.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. That's a good thing and pleased to do that. All right, public participation. What did you want? If you're gonna speak out, speak up here.
There's more room on that side. I realized after I was sitting down that there's more room for a bench on this side, on the 142 side.
That's the
Yeah.
side we
that's
gave
the
them
side that-
permission
Yeah, I
to do
know.
so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was thinking, wait a minute, there's all that stuff up there.
Yeah, thank you. Any public participation? That is agenda items only. Okay, moving on. I have a correspondence that I'm gonna do before we go into executive session, from David Emery. I had asked way back,
Which one? Sorry, which David Emery?
senior,
Thanks.
whatever. I had asked him way back that our EOC crew be taken into the plant, because we never got a chance to. He said, all those that wanna go in, I need your social security, your name, no exceptions. I have to have that before June 1st, so email me that no, don't do that. I'll get it from you. And, list of names, I'll take it up to him personally. And I have to have it up to him before June 1st. So that's my EOC crew that would like to go. Also, any select board member, I mean, that doesn't work there. No, you can come too.
I would be in tears probably just looking at the inside of that place now.
Yeah, I understand.
It would be
Can't
like
even imagine.
going through a dead body.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I
but
can't
that's what it
imagine
would
how
be.
you feel.
That's what it would be for me,
Honestly.
really.
Yep.
When is the tour?
The tour will be Wednesday, June 8th. And 2016, of course, and in the morning. So what you need to do is get me your name and your social security number before June 1st, please. Also, if anybody from our audience would like to go, just let me know and you can go as well.
There's no time, just in the morning.
No time, it'll probably be around 10,
Okay.
so.
Can I use the back of your piece of paper?
Yep.
Because otherwise you're never gonna get it from me, because I'll never remember it.
Okay,
Lived here all my life and never been.
so you get a chance to go, aren't you lucky that I extended it? Oh, I,
Thank you, Chris. I really appreciate you extending the offer to select board members.
I didn't have to.
Thank you, David Senior, for extending that invitation to select board members.
We did that
Would you like
years
to go?
ago. I went through when it was alive. Of course, before 9/11.
Yeah, I never went, always had the offer to go every year, since I was on select board, even when I
Well,
was
you should go,
town
you'll
treasurer.
probably be able to see places that you wouldn't have when it was
Right.
operating. So that'll be an interesting thing. And I'm sure they'll turn the lights on and. it's probably not that-
I hope so.
It's not that cold.
You know what, I would like to see it all start right back up again.
Yeah, it won't happen.
Honestly.
What you should do is invite Bernie Sanders to go on the tour with you, so you can see how his handiwork works out.
Yeah,
Shoveling to move around.
And
You wanna go,
shovel
Katrina?
That lady as well. The whole thing.
you're more than welcome. Anybody?
No, thank you.
I think we got.
I really don't wanna go, I was serious, it's, it would be
I
very
have
sad
nothing
for
that I
me.
have to throw in the fire tonight, so we're safe there.
It was weird, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, we have, we're gonna go into executive session. We have three two complaints that are contractual and also, and a contractual matter, so they might as well be all three of them all in one.
Okay, Madam Chair,
Go.
I move that we go in, okay. I move to find that premature general public knowledge of three contractual complaints will clearly place the town in a substantial disadvantage by disclosing its negotiation strategy.
Second.
That's it, and this motion bears.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Madam Chair, I move that we enter executive session to discuss these three contractual complaint matters under provisions of Title I, Section 313A1 of the Vermont statutes, and have our town administrator enter with us.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. We are going into executive session. Board went into executive session at 8:47, out at 9:16, you said? And no action was taken. Okay, now on a personnel matter.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I move that we go into executive session with our town administrator on a personal matter, the disclosure at this time which might be detrimental to the town and or individuals involved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, ayes have it. Okay, we're going back in, Ian. Board went into executive session at 8:47, out at 9:16, you said? And no action was taken. Okay, now on a personnel matter.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I move that we go into executive session with our town administrator on a personal matter, the disclosure at this time which might be detrimental to the town and or individuals involved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, ayes have it. Okay, we're going back in, Ian. we went into executive session on a personnel matter at 9:17 and came out at 9:34 and no action was taken. And guess what?
I make the motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I'm not even gonna ask who opposes because I have the authority to say it's going anyway. Done. End.